Start video. Mute.
Hold on. I gotta get my glasses. Yeah, you weren't mute.
Welcome, everybody, to the City of Palatka City Commission meeting on August 24th, 2023. Going to call this meeting to order, and we're going to start with an invocation. Is Pastor Mulberry there? Pastor Mulberry, please.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Father, we thank you again for this day. We thank you for how you blessed us through it. You brought us to this time again to come together, and we thank you. We pray, God, for your continuous blessings upon your people. Pray for the leadership of this committee. You will bless them and give them wisdom, God, in their endeavors. Give them how to lead this city, God, further. We thank you for all that you're doing right now, certainly for what you're going to do. Thank you for touching and healing the bodies of your people, bringing us together once again. We say thank you tonight. Continue to bless, continue to do what you do. We give you praise and glory now. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Krantz, roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Commissioner Tammy McCaskill. Here. Commissioner Justin Campbell.
I'm present.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Will Jones.
Present.
Commissioner Rufus Borum.
Present.
Mayor Robbie Correa.
Present.
We have all members present and counted for. There is a quorum within the chambers, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Has everybody had an opportunity to review the minutes from the July 20 commission meeting, July 21st commission workshop? Excuse me, it's workshop, the first one as well. July 27th commission meeting and August 7th commission workshop.
So move. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Didn't hear Commissioner Campbell, but hopefully. We're going to move on to public recognitions presentation. First presentation, Palatka Police Department Life Saving Award, Officer Matthew Buchanan. Chief Shaw.
First, say thank you. I'm sorry. Can you hear me now, son? Mayor, Commissioners, I'd like to first say thank you for the opportunity to recognize our officer, Officer Matt Buchanan. If Sergeant McNeil could come up. And Officer Buchanan, can you come up for me, please, as well? Officer Buchanan, you have to stand right there for me. I'm not gonna go too deep into detail just because of circumstances of the event, and I like to keep the situation a little private for that individual. But on the night in question last month, Officer Buchanan responded to an individual that was actively trying to take his life. On arriving on scene, he noticed he was in the process and he didn't hesitate to act. He thrust himself into the situation and prevented that sad situation from occurring. It was because of his actions that that individual is still alive today. And for that, we would like to be able to recognize him with the Officer of the Year, I'm sorry, for the Life Saving Award. In recognition of you providing immediate emergency care in the face of potential suicide, the Palatka Police Department would like to award you the Life Saving Award on this day, August 24th, 2023, Officer Matt Buchanan.
Thank you. Next in the spotlight, Employee of the Month, Ms. Jones.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Commissioners. Once again, it's such a privilege and an honor to be able to just stand before you to recognize an employee of the month here at the City of Palatka for outstanding performance. One of the things that I've noticed in these past couple of months that we've had departments that have come together as a team nominating one of their own on this. So not just one nomination, but I may get 2 or 3 from a particular department. So tonight we would like to recognize and honor Director Eddie Cutright.
He looked surprised. Aaron, here's some tissue for him.
I need it. So actually, funny enough, the roles were reversed exactly a year ago. I was Employee of the Month nominated by Eddie. So I'm just going to read one bit from each and every single one of the members of our team at Community Affairs. We all nominated our supervisor. So, this is from David Green. Eddie gives feedback for improvement and frequently checks in to make sure our processes are working for us and the city. He's open to change and trying something that could possibly improve outcomes. Courtney James says, Eddie sets a standard for his team to manage time and priorities. He drops in on tenants, events, and programs to have in-person contact and build relationships with other entities and participating citizens. This is from Christy Lowe. Mr. Eddie always puts the city first and the needs of the city. When given directions on a certain case, he wants what's best overall for the citizens of the city of Palatka. This is from Reno. Eddie is a supervisor who not only excels at his job, but he promotes team cohesiveness and cooperation with and between departments he oversees. He does not mind getting his hands dirty by pitching in and assisting where and whenever needed. It's been a pleasure working under his leadership. Then for me, long-winded, Eddie continuously puts his best foot forward to be a great representative for his team and the city overall. He takes time to meet the citizens, to hear their concerns and discuss solutions. Eddie prides himself on prompt and thorough responses because he understands people want feedback in a timely manner. Suspense time is practically mandated to hold his team accountable and steadily productive. Each project is handled with a fine-tooth comb to make sure the results are the best his team can bring forward. And he will stand by his team's results through and through. As he says, he will fall on that sword. And keeping this a secret has been really hard.
As most of y'all know, I'm never lost for words, but I would have never thought this. I've always tried to show my team that they mean more to me than anything. And I always was told that if you take care of your team, they'll take care of you. What she said and what Reno, all of them said, I hear myself saying that on a regular basis, but I will be honest with you, I am nothing without them. They have made it so easy for me to be a leader. They have made it so easy for me to come to Palatka and work on a regular basis. It's no secret that I'm retired from the military, so financially I'm okay. And I drive an hour, but I drive an hour because I enjoy the staff and I enjoy the city of Palatka. So y'all just don't know how shocked I am on this one. I don't even know what to say. Thank you, Aaron. If you're listening, Community Affairs, thank all y'all, Reno, Courtney, David, Christy. Thank you, Ms. Val, for being helping me through a lot of stuff. She have talked me off the ledge many times. Jonathan, I thank you for the support. Commissioners, y'all know we have conversation, and thank y'all for helping me and supporting me. Commissioner Kelman, if you're listening, thank you too. Let me be quiet, because I don't know what to say.
Well, I heard Eddie, he said, he financially okay, and we're in the budgeting season right now. You wanna donate that back to the pot? I mean,
We can discuss a 1-year donation, but the next year is gonna be a whole lot different. You're like Michael Jordan.
Mr. Griffith, we're going to move on to city manager and administrative reports.
Thank you, Mayor. First item is the city manager search. As of yesterday, we had approved the recruitment profile for the city manager based upon the comments received from the commission last week. I just checked Slavin Management Consultants website. It is not live quite yet, but we'll continue to monitor that tomorrow. Obviously, I did commit that they would get it live this week. The tentative schedule as it stands is the first review of resumes by the end of September, a screening of the resumes the first week of October, and then they're going to send out supplemental questionnaires to the candidates middle of October, and then they're looking to potentially hold in-person meeting with the city commission October 23rd, or the week of October 23rd. That is tentative, subject to change. So as we start to receive resumes, we'll keep you updated, okay?
Thank you.
And to clarify, you want to receive all of the resumes, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to the budget preparation. Ms. Cardy and her staff are working diligently to make those changes that you requested at last week's budget meetings. We don't have a final budget quite yet, but we do have a balanced budget, and we have your directives. Sometime either by tomorrow or early next week, we're hoping to take those documents, which are the decision units, the new positions, and the tracking sheet that Ms. Krantz has been compiling for all of us with all of your budget directives. We're putting a notes column to that so you can see the actual change we're making to the budget. And we're hoping to have that, that homework assignment to you early next week. As soon as we have a completed document, Ms. Cardy and her staff will forward it out to you for your review. That will be in advance of the next agenda being published. Anything to add, Ms. Cardy?
Not really, just the fact that we've done almost 95% of all changes. There are a few items we do still need a little bit of directive on, and that would be, I wrote it, there was a directive on that stipend for living in the city, things of that nature. So we still need clear directive on that. And we do have a few other positions that have come in, and so we've done pretty much all of the guidance that we've been provided. We're current.
So I'll remind you, we can make changes between first and second reading. If we cannot call a special called meeting to get input from the commission as a whole on 2 or 3 items, we just may have to allot some time at the first meeting in September to get some clarification.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any questions?
Oh, yes, please.
Ma'am?
Yes.
I'm gonna stand up there and get
Yes.
that part.
You want me to help you pass them out?
So we're excited. We're happy also. The staff worked very well with us, making sure that we've been trying to bring you current as much as we could. We know that we're in the, I'm sorry, everyone, I didn't say good evening. Sorry about that. Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners, and everyone that's here. So I did not want you all to go any further without receiving your financial. This brings you up until June 30th of 2023. I'm not certain what your format is that you desire, but I've tried to go back and look at what was done previously and basically incorporated that with giving you substantial detail so that you have an opportunity to look at what support the numbers that are on the 3 cover sheets in front. Sorry about that. So summary, page 1, the most important item is to realize that revenues as of June 30th, this is unaudited, is 34,204,000. And our expenditures are 29,035,000. So as of June 30th, we're, positive, we're in the black, 5 million. course, there's all kind of adjustments that happen, but just wanted you to have a snapshot. So for general fund, you can see we brought in the 10,700,000 in revenues and expenditures. We have 9,166,000 reflected on page 2, just looking at general fund. If we were to look on page 1 at airport fund, we have 1,827,000 and our expenses are 1,801,000. So as of this moment, we have not had to transfer in as of this moment. Utility funds with the grants. Revenues are 12,174,000. And if you go to page 2, you will see that the expenditures for the utility fund is 9,649,000. The golf course, so far, they've generated 210,000, including the transfer ins. The sanitation fund, which starts at the bottom of page 2, my real goal is to make sure that you can see the numbers. And so at the bottom of page 2, sanitation fund starts, and total revenues for sanitation is 2,423,000. And expenditures are 2,106,000. Better Place Fund, total revenues, including the grants, 4,234,000, expenditures, 4,077,000. And ARPA is, in and out. Tax increment, we brought in that 699,000, and year to date, 88,000. But remember that this is back in June 30th, okay? We're currently living in August. So there's lots of transactions that have happened between June 30th and August. This is giving you a report up until June 30th. If you turn to the following page, I'm just kind of giving you a quick overview. This is things that you can review and ask as many questions whenever you want. But there's your graph or pie chart of revenues and expenses. And I think consistently we can see general and utility. General is 36% of our revenues, and utility is 31%. Looking at your pie. Oh, it's up on the screen. Expenses for general is 33%, and utility is 32%. So it's pretty close. The revenue pattern and the expense pattern pretty close. So I'm going to just go very quickly, like 1 minute, letting you understand that the detail that you have behind, if you could move on to detail, that allows you to see the breakout of all of the operating general ledger budget lines. So whatever your questions are, you just look in there and you can see it. But more importantly, all the revenues, which is, this is revenues. Revenues is 16 pages. And so that's your detail for your revenues by line item and by fund. And then expenses is 48 pages. And we are here to serve you. Just wanted to bring you current. Okay. Thank you so much to my staff, and thank you, City Manager, for all your support. Thank you, everything.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anything else?
No, ma'am.
Okay. With that said, we're going to move on to public comments. I'm going to open the floor to public comments, but we have, first of all, Mr. Best has submitted a public comment. 3 minutes, name and address, as you know, for the record, please.
Hello, my name is Zenny Best. I live in Interlachen, Florida, at 200 Hayes Drive, 32148. I am a mental health consumer advocate for our county. I'm the only one that does this. I reach out, and I know it can be better for people that just don't know where the services are, or they're just so sick that they don't know how to get better, where the help is. I run into people every day. The help is here. The hospital does things the way the hospital wants to do this. The mental health hospital we have in our town here does things the way they want it done. And people don't always fall into line or can't show up to meetings or series of doctor's appointments when they're supposed to. The agency that I'm trying to bring to this county does that for you. They come and get you at this point. We felt so long with the federal government about bringing you to appointments, getting you to the services for free. They've agreed with us. There are avenues now where all you have to do is wake up and pick the phone up and they will come and get you and take you to the doctor. But in Putnam County, we seem to be dragging our feet, God bless us, because we don't trust each other yet. But with mental health, you have to be able to, you have to hit your head really hard for someone to help you get up. And I'm standing here now because I've been there. Someone had to help me up. Once I got up and they showed me how to get up and how to maintain what I have, I've been able to live and thrive. And now my quest and my blessing is just help others do the same thing I did. Every illness is different, but we can get up. And with the city's help, and if in fact we do cooperate, the International Clubhouse in our county here is so valuable. Anything you need with the mental health area, they have it for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Best. Has there been anybody else here for public comment? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. Moving on. Consent agenda. Do we want to pull anything from the consent agenda?
Item U, pass you.
Madam Mayor, I believe staff has a couple items to pull.
I was gonna say Q and R.
Yes, yep, you got them.
Item AA for discussion.
A.
AA.
AA.
And A. And A. Okay.
And Q and R, if you don't mind, please.
Yes, I've got those. Q and R.
AA, what did you say, Commissioner Jones?
A,
Okay.
just for question P as well.
B.
Okay.
So at this point, to reiterate, and then we'll need a motion, pulling A, pulling P, Q, R, and double A.
And you.
And U, okay. So do we have all of those? Who wants? Okay, well, I can't make a motion. I can't make a motion. I was just
Motion to
reading.
accept consent agenda items. All consent agenda items with the exception of A, Q, R, P, U, and AA.
Second.
The motion second, all in favor?
All right.
Aye. Okay. A, Ms. Krantz?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Resolution 2023 R171, a resolution of the city of Palatka, Florida, ratifying and approving the recommendation of the Palatka Community Redevelopment Agency at its August 14, 2023 meeting, acceptance of the fiscal year 2021 to 2022 Community Redevelopment Agency audit and comprehensive annual financial report, HCT certified public accountants and consultants LLC, acceptance of the presented fiscal year 2023-2024 budget, and authorization of a memorandum of understanding with the Small Business Development Center.
So my question on that was, I was absent during that meeting. I was attending via internet, and I think I got a clear understanding of the budget item for Main Street manager. Was that in that budget? Okay, so you're asking for that to be ratified tonight when there was a vote, and I want to make certain what that vote was prior to us going forward. Was that vote to table that decision item till later? I think Commissioner Bourne actually brought it up, but I want some clarification.
So as we understand it, as staff, you're okay with keeping the allocation for budgeting purposes, but the discussion regarding actually hiring a Main Street manager is tabled for the next CRA meeting in October. So it'll be in the budget if you approve it come September, first and second reading. But we will take no action on advertising the position or do anything further with it until we're directed by the CRA.
Is that what you're intending, Lieutenant? Commissioner Bourne?
I mean, I think that was the pleasure of the board, I think, yes.
I just was having difficulty hearing as well as communicating.
Right, that was the
So I want to
pleasure.
make sure prior to us putting it in the budget in case it wasn't.
And it adheres to the intent of the strategic plan also.
Right.
So that was the consensus and we would discuss it in October. Okay. He,
But you need a motion to.
oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we do need a motion. Do we have a motion to approve? Second?
Sorry.
You sure? All in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Commissioner Campbell, I'm not hearing. Is he?
I'm voting.
Okay, it's just hard to hear sometimes, sorry. Moving on to P.
PS Resolution 193. Resolution number 2023 R193, a resolution of the city of Palatka, Florida, authorizing the execution of a lighting agreement with Florida Power and Light FPL for lighting improvements at Hang Bryan Park and providing for Scrivener's errors.
Thank you.
So move.
Second.
Who had the question on it? Okay.
Again, this is, could somebody explain it to me a little better?
So, yes, sir, this is for 17 FPL lights on the Hank Bryan Park, specifically the side where the playground is. So right now, there's only one light which the city pays energy cost for. What we're proposing is to put in decorative park lighting, 17 lights total throughout the whole park. And FPL will be responsible for the maintenance and we'll just pay a maintenance and energy fee monthly, which I believe is in the reso at $398.50.
Is $812 a month for that charge monthly? That what it look like it said?
No, I believe it's $2,373
One time, that's-
a
So that's the
year.
one-time cost, yeah.
One time, but the maintenance, monthly maintenance and energy charges estimated $812.25.
I'm looking at the summary, sir, so let's look at the actual agreement.
That's what it says.
That's what it says here.
Let's go.
Hello, Marcia Gano, project manager. I don't know if it's on. I don't know if Ms. Tucker is on the line, but whenever we were reviewing the agenda prior to, she said the $398.50 is the actual figure, but it had been reported incorrectly on one of the other documents.
We pull this until we get accurate information. And a question I want to pose is, the parks close at dark. And that's not a park that you say, not the basketball course, anything where someone may play during dusk. This is the playground area. Am I correct?
This is for the entire block where the playground is located. So it will be lit similar to the Riverfront Park.
Let me just, so you mentioned along where the new playground equipment is. That's what you said at first. I'm just trying. Is it over by 13th Street?
So it's
As
on
well, I
the
mean-
block that's bounded by Krill, Diana, 14th and 15th. So the big hill. So where the playgrounds are located, where the new fitness equipment is going, these lights will be spaced throughout the trail around the park.
So to encourage nighttime, I'm just out of curiosity, encourage nighttime.
So we have people that are in that park during the evening and at dusk. We do have a light that's in the center of the park. There is some activity in that park. If you were to ask Chief Shaw and his staff, SEPTED principals, you're trying to bring some light in there and discourage some of that bad activity. But again, if this isn't something the commission wants, That's what it's here for.
I just, the question is because if the parks close at dark, or that's why light it up, because you are gonna encourage that. So it's just a question, so I wanted to know, and the cost of $812 per month. That's.
If I might could address that really quick, Commissioner, I apologize. When the item was originally being written, I had estimated that monthly charge based on other locations throughout the city with FP&L agreements. However, I did receive confirmation from FP&L that the monthly maintenance and energy charge would be $398.50 per month for the 17 lights within that block.
I think you have to consider the investment that's been made on the park, and the lights will help hopefully to reduce vandalism. When the police patrol, they patrol, but in the interim, there are people there. That's just the reality. And I think that would be one of the intentions, is to make it a safer place for all and also reduce vandalism.
And I'm glad you said that, Madam Mayor, because we also would like to see similar project in the other parks if we're gonna do Hank Bryan Park. So I'm a proponent for it, and I would like to see this actually in the rest of our parks. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner McCaskill, please.
Would like the chief or Newcomb or someone to speak on the crime rate over in the area, and we have homes that are located there, and I think that the lighting would help with the crime rate there. If I'm not mistaken, I think I've heard some activity.
That is correct, Commissioner. And speaking in, like the city manager stated, as part of a subted to basically decrease criminal activity, to lighten up the areas more like the broken window theory. Since we've done some remodeling in the area, the lighting will assist in not allowing or hopefully preventing future activity or criminal activity in the area.
Thank you. Commissioner Boyle?
Yes, have we explored any of the solar energy as opposed to the regular electrical power sources?
No, sir, we have not. The biggest reason that you see staff proposing this is we don't have the in-house staff capabilities to maintain our decorative lighting throughout downtown and the parks. So over the past couple of years, we've been transitioning to the maintenance and energy agreements with FP&L. So that $398 actually takes into account the replacement for those fixtures. And the reason that Mandy estimated on the high side is she most likely used the energy cost per fixture for the downtown lighting, which is a little bit nicer fixture than what we're proposing for the other neighborhood parks. So.
Okay, any further questions?
No, looking forward to those parks being lit up throughout the city.
I didn't know if Commissioner Campbell had anything. Okay, we have we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. Q and R. Q, actually, let's start with Q.
Yes, ma'am. Here is 194. Resolution 2023 R194, resolution authorizing award of ITB 2023-14 RC Willis Water Treatment Plant Yard Piping Improvements and execution of a contract with SGS Contracting Services Inc. in the amount of $856,700 and providing for Scrivener's errors. And I believe Mr. Griffith wants to speak to this.
So,
Yes.
Well, we can just go ahead and do that in the other question.
Actually, we're requesting that you table these items and I can explain why. So
Okay.
Q and R both. Your staff's been busy and unfortunately we were unable to get the notice of intent to award published in time. So we just want to push Q and R to the September 14th meeting.
Okay.
So if we could just have a motion to table for both items.
Table.
I make a second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. You.
If I could,
Yes.
you have a similar item, which is item number 9. I don't know if you want to take them both now, together. Ms.
I'm fine with taking them now together. That's okay.
That's fine. That's fine.
Right.
I'm fine
I
with it.
just want to ask if we could reconsider these funds to have them, my portion placed back into my line item and my part, and have this reconsidered for a later date. Due to some questions about the person that put the application in.
Okay, do we want to be able to read that you out loud so the community knows what we're talking about?
Thank you. Resolution 2023 R198. A resolution of the city of Palatka, Florida, granting a special events permit to Molly's House for the Palatka Community Cookout, setting forth the provisions of the permit, granting for permission for noise variance and providing for scrivener's errors.
Thank you. Mr. Cartwright?
Should we make a vote on that right now? Should we vote and then go to the question?
That's fine.
Okay, so move. So this is before, I say so move.
I heard that. I was waiting for someone to second. Second. Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Cartwright.
Okay, that that event in question, Ms. Miller came in and applied for a event application. We vetted it through our staffing with the event team. She was asking for, we allocated 3 officers before and after the event and during the event, 8 trash cans, 1 public works staff, and a Class B event permit. Estimated cost right now, but that can be adjusted depending on the event itself, is around about $1,600. She actually had planned for it to be the 26th of August, but we since then moved it to the 30th of September. To give time to see exactly what the commissioner and the guidance from the city is going to be. But she was vetted with this being a cost to her, because we didn't know exactly how the city was going to do the donation.
With that being said, Commissioner McCaskill has some questions about it, and I was requesting that funds be put back into mine. The funds that I've allocated to this event be put back in, and I want to bring it back up to the next commission. I want to table it to bring it back up to have it reconsider, funds reconsider.
So, well, my question would be, so I think other commissioners also contributed, so I guess we'll have to roll. I'll speak for myself, I like to roll mine back as well. Roll it back.
Roll it back.
So,
Okay.
real quick, we got 2 items here, so if
Yeah.
I could make a suggestion. We're gonna need multiple motions, one that relates to the withdrawal of contributions from the commissioner accounts, and then one that relates to the approval of the special event. So before you now, you have the resolution for the approval of the special event. And once you put that matter to bed, we could entertain another motion for withdrawing funds.
Okay, I like to make this will be for all the, I speak for myself and speak for each commission, just withdraw all of the, I make a motion that we withdraw all of the.
Sorry, no, one before.
There's a floor.
Let's finish this, but what?
So the special event application is first, Commissioner.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I like to make a motion that we withdraw the special event permit that we approved.
There was a motion on the floor.
We made, it was in the question.
There was originally a motion on the floor. You would have to withdraw that motion.
I can withdraw, I like to withdraw my previous my previous motion.
Is it friendly to the second?
Are you a friendly second?
And withdraw my second.
All right, thank you. So now I move forward with the special event. I'd like to make a motion that we withdraw the special event permit that was scheduled for the 26th of this month.
It's September 30th.
September 30th.
No, it was August.
Well, originally she wanted it for August
Right,
26th,
and
but
then moved to third to the.
well, she
30th.
wanted,
So
she changed the plans to September 30th.
Right.
May
So-
I ask a question, please?
It's one of your replacement pages, Commissioner. It's
Right, but
there.
what I'm saying is, we said it was August 26th and then it moved to the 30th, so I'll say the whole thing. I'd like to withdraw the special event permit that was initially put in for the August 26th that will move to September 30th.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
I have a
Aye.
question. I
Any
have a
opposition?
question.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, I had a question.
Okay, Commissioner Campbell?
So with the removal of the
Can you speak up, Commissioner?
I'm talking as loud as I can, I apologize. Is there with the removal, with the motion that was just made, was the original application process, did it have Commissioner McCaskill's name listed?
The application that she turned into us did not have Commissioner McCastle's name on it.
So the first application did not.
No.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that, of that for the simple fact of if it was a new application. I was under the assumption that it was a new application that was submitted. So I just wanted to bring that up for clarity for me.
Yeah, to elaborate on that, I think the new application that came up was that when she changed the date, we asked her to come in and bring a new application with the correct dates on it.
So technically we didn't have to, never mind, it's done. Okay.
Thank you. Yes.
I think that what we have before us is a special event application for the 30th?
September 30th.
Yeah.
So the commission has made a decision to grant that special event permit or to deny it.
So who? Did the lady request the 30th?
Yes, she came back in and
Requested
requested
that
30.
modification, yeah.
Okay.
And she submitted the permit request as well.
Now, she was vetted through the special intent team of this event as it's going to be her paying for it. So if you will or will not.
That's not the question right now. Are we gonna pay for this?
Mhm.
The question, tell me if I'm reading it right, is we're gonna approve that event.
Right, that is the
Yes,
question.
yes.
Oh. My intent is to ask the commission that we do not pull the special event permit. Deny it. We pull it and deny it.
So somebody has to make a motion to deny? What?
I'll make a
we
motion that
just-
we-
Just had a motion that went through.
I will make the motion to deny the event, for the September 30th.
Second.
Okay.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
And do you have questions?
Do you have any
I want
I'm
you to ask
sorry.
questions.
I'm sorry.
Sort of, because we just had advocacy to make it happen, and that's something I just don't know.
Exactly.
And so.
There are some questionable behaviors and some questions that came up from some citizens in the community about the funding and the applicant asking for funding prior to meeting dates, talking to vendors, and questions were coming to me. And I cannot have that happen under my watch with city funding. So
And I think
if there's
that's where my
questions that I don't have answers to, I am asking that we pull the special events. We deny it.
Okay, and I heard Commissioner Campbell saying something, so have you got something, Commissioner Jones, another question?
Some vendors were coming to me asking some questions about monies being asked for, and it just didn't feel right. I didn't get a good sense of it, so I want this event halted for now, and I can look for another sponsor. Okay.
And I think that's initially where my original question came in with the discourse, because I was under the assumption that this was an event that was put on by Commissioner McCaskill, and she was just assisting as far as with making it happen. So that's why I asked the initial question as to was there another application to be submitted? Because and the only reason I'm saying this again, I'm still for having the event, but if the event was not to the magnitude that we discussed it in our previous meeting, I gave on the conscience of, or was giving on the conscience of it being Commissioner McCaskill's event, and we're just supporting her event. But in the event that somebody is taking advantage or doing some ill things that we should be concerned about and not be privy to, but it has gotten back to Commissioner McCaskill, I think that is the wisest thing for us to do, and make them go through the event process as their own, and no attachments to be completely detached and do something separate, including changing the name, because the name came as a result of something of Commissioner McCaskill. So I think that would do her an injustice if the event was to still go forward and it be in that name and it doesn't reflect anything positive or anything that the city as a whole had their hands in.
Yeah, so it sounded like it was some material changes in the event as a whole, and it doesn't reflect what Commissioner McCaskill originally planned, so, with, Mayor. Whatever we
Well, so
already
at this point, we already had a vote.
Commissioner Campbell, he made the motion, I think it was second. by
Yes.
Commissioner
So
McCaskill.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposition? Thank you.
Now, Mayor, if we could, if the commission's will, to withdraw commission,
Funding.
community event funds, we would need a motion to that effect.
To make a motion that we withdraw the contributions that were put towards the special event.
Okay, we have a motion. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Thank you. Okay, on to AA. Ms. Krantz.
Thank you so much. AA is 203. Resolution number 2023 R203, a resolution of the city of Palatka granting a reduction and release of lien assessed to 318 North 11th Street, Palatka, Florida for complaint number 2021058, authorizing the reduction of the lien and release of the lien upon payment, which is attached to the affected property and providing for scrivener's errors.
Thank you, Mr. Cartwright.
All right, this lien right here came to you, I think, last month or a month before, with a reduction from 32,000 to 16,000. Since then, the city attorney and the property owners or property representative attorney got discussion about the proper noticing. Normally we use the tax deed and the tax deed and property appraisal that we use that to notice property owners for any violations and everything. This actually property came through 2 hearings. And then once they asked for a lien reduction, when we did all the information, when they came back with a number to 16,000, they was not happy with that. So they went with the city attorney and discussed some improper noticing. Since then, we have been told that we need to notice property, LLC property through Sunbiz. Before then, we was not. So we definitely, if we going through that situation, we did not properly notice them. And once they did get noticed, it was several days in between the time, but they got noticed and fixed the property, and that's where the $3,300 came up with what that was.
So 30 something to
Yes.
16 down to 33.
Yes.
So how does that sit with the policy that we had? Does that all line up with it, or?
Yes, everything lines up other than just now in our new SOP is we gonna make sure we notice any LLC property through something. Up until now, we have not had any problem because most of the LLC property was coming into the hearing and being compliant and knowing what the property situation was. This property right here was the kiosk on the corner, right there off 11th Street.
Right.
We really never had conversation with them until they came in after the second hearing.
Okay, but you mentioned something about LLC.
Well, so the LLC property or corporations, we want to make sure also look at the property appraisal and the tax deed, but also go to Sunbiz to make sure we got the proper address.
Okay.
And the 2 properties on the Sunbiz, it was a suite number that we missed on the property appraisal and tax deed.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
I have a question. So what is the registered agent the owner of the property?
Uh,
Yeah.
At the resident agent, the young lady and the gentleman is the property owner.
Is the property owner, so you're telling me that the property owner was noticed? That same person was noticed. I'm asking a question.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
This is important. So our policy actually states. Our policy says a lien reduction could be up to 50% of the lien. And the lien was $32,100 and it was reduced to $16,050 already.
Mhm.
So how do we get to 3,000
Because of they sent the proper notices was not done on the first hearing. So we went from the second hearing when they came in and said they got the notification.
So would you go from 32,000?
It's almost 7 months difference between the two hearings.
33, did you go from 30?
If we go from the,
32,
if we
or did
go,
you Go from 16.
if we go from the
That's all.
commissioner, if we go from the time when they say it was properly noticed, we read the time for that time.
So
And
how
that,
much was it
and that was the
then?
$3,300.
No. So it had been reduced already. Is that-
We came here last month to reduce it from the 32,000 to 16,000. But when the city attorney and the attorney discussed it, they said they was not properly noticed because of the sunbeds. The date that they are saying that they was notified, that's what the time that we ran to
That's what you
reduce.
did.
I do kind of understand that, but my question is after the lien had already been reduced, so you already took action. So would it be proper to go back and redo it from the original amount of the lien is what I'm asking.
Ms. Thomas.
The owners, the property owners are, they think they're new and they say that they did not receive notice. And the mail came back that they had not received it, the notification, the letter came back.
For the first hearing.
I get that. Now, thank you for clarifying that part. But my question is, when you were intending to notice them, what was the amount of the lien at that time?
The first notice, when we noticed them for the first hearing, it was no lien at times. When we turned it back for the second hearing, that's when we had fines running up to that period. When we took it to the second hearing, then it continued to run. So when we came to the point where we said that the sunbids properly noticed, and when the property owners came in and recognized that they did get the information that they had violations, that is the date that we ran this fine to present.
This is another question. This is for educational purposes, for probably everyone that owns property and myself making these decisions. So if we do this, what could possibly be the pushback from others who may have owned properties as LLCs? If they come back and say, my LLC wasn't noticed, however, I received it as the agent for this property, and I'm the agent owner of this LLC. Do you think we have any more that could come up with the same scenario?
As of record right now, most of the LLC properties that we have come through the hearing has had a representative attend the hearing. So they can't say they was not properly notified. They was in the hearing. This property, the first hearing they went through, they did not show up. So we proceeded as a property owner, just didn't show up, and we moved on. The second hearing, when they got wind of the property, I guess, when they finally realized it was their property, then that's when they came in talking about they trying to fix the property.
They got wind of it?
Well, whenever the notices came through, we notified the property, we put a door knock on the property, we do it in the paper and everything. So when they came back in the second time to say, we understand we got violations, from that point on, they made proper procedures to clean the property up. And they demoed the little kiosk building that was on there. And that's why we dated from that time when we knew and they knew that they was notified.
And the amount that we have recommended here for the reduction, this is what the amount of the lien would have been, or the fine would have been if they had received proper notice at the time when we mailed out the first notification. But because they had not, and that's why we reduced it back down to this amount, because that would have been the amount of the fine.
Okay.
So, but we have put in safeguards, so we
Yes.
don't make that error.
Yes,
again.
that is correct, Commissioner.
Like Director Cutright is saying, I'll throw myself on the sword for this.
Okay, all right, we appreciate that.
Okay, with all of that said, any further questions? Do we need a motion?
I make a motion that we approve.
Second, anyone?
Second.
Okay, with motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposition?
Nay.
Thank you. We're gonna go on to regular business. Number 7, adopt resolution 2023 R204. Ms. Krantz.
Thank you so much, Madam Mayor. This is resolution number 2023 R204, a resolution of the city of Palatka concurring with the city manager's appointment of Jane West Esquire as city attorney effective, that should be September the 18th, 2023, providing for scrivener's errors and providing for an effective date.
So move.
Second. Okay, we have a motion second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Any
Aye.
opposition? Are you gonna vote one way or the other? Oh, I didn't hear you.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. I didn't. You were reading, sorry. Okay, I just want to make sure because Ms. Thomas really wants to know. Okay, so next. Swearing in.
Now we have 2 attorneys.
Not for long. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Ms. West, as the city clerk of the city of Palatka, it is my great privilege to administer to you the oath of office as city attorney. If you would, please raise your right hand and place your other hand on the Bible and repeat after me. I, Jane West.
I, Jane West,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government of the United States,
the Constitution and the government of the United
the
States,
state of Florida,
the state of Florida,
the city of Palatka Code of Ordinances,
the city of Palatka Code of Ordinances,
and I will bear truth, faith,
and I will bear truth, faith,
loyalty, and allegiance to same,
loyalty, and allegiance to the same,
and that I am duly qualified to hold office
and that I am duly qualified to hold office
under the requirements of the Constitution
under the requirements of the Constitution
of the state
of the state
and the city charter.
and the city charter.
And I will well and faithfully
And I will well and faithfully
perform the duties of city attorney
perform the duties of city attorney
of the city of Palatka,
of the city of Palatka,
on which I am now about to enter.
on which now I am about to enter. So help me God. Thank you.
Cake and wine and.
Wow, did you bring it?
Thank you, and likewise, and welcome aboard.
Likewise, ma'am.
Congrats.
All right, congratulations. You got all kinds of celebrations coming up.
All good news and exciting news. Okay, we dealt with number 9 already. Moving on to number 10. Discussion direction, Mr. Griffith or Ms. Carty? Ms. Carty?
This is existing certified public accountants or auditors. At the conclusion of the audit, or right at the end of it, we were issued an invoice for additional charges, the amount of $21,883.25. We are seeking guidance from the NIAS primarily because of the language in the engagement letter. It states that it says that if significant additional time is necessary, we will discuss it with you and arrive at a new fee estimate before we incur the additional cost. But this stipulation was not complied with. The services were provided, but it was provided without giving us the opportunity to do the discussion. So we would like guidance on how to proceed. We did prepare, city manager asked 5 questions to the auditors. And those 5 questions are included in your workbook. Starting on page 418. It's a documentation of email conversation between myself and the managing principal auditor. What I did, I met with the interim city manager and he voiced the concerns that he had. I then sent them over to the auditors. They did answer the questions. They're basically saying that the primary reason for the additional time and effort that they spent was because at that time we did not have a finance director. And in order for them to finish the audit, they needed to expend additional time. So we would like guidance on how to proceed.
Well, I got this question as a whole. During those times, I guess we had, our interim city manager right now is, you weren't involved much at the time.
So as assistant city manager, I'm aware of the audit process and I offer assistance as necessary. But the primary staff person that communicates with the auditors is the finance director. And you'll notice my question number 5 kind of speaks to this. They responded and basically said that they had attempted to reach out to the former manager during the early stages of the external audit and there was not a reply. Ms. Carty and I have discussed this. Again, my questions were based upon getting more information and reviewing our contractual terms with the auditor. They did a good job. We're happy with them, but this is in excess of what we are contractually committed to pay them. So this is a commission decision. It would be my recommendation to approve the expenditure.
What's your recommendation?
To approve the expenditure.
Yeah. All right.
Commissioner Jones, you look like you want to ask something.
Nope, I was gonna say the same thing, because we did have some challenges internally and they worked through them and they came up with a good audit. They answered the question, they was available even after they presented. So I also moved to approve this expenditure and pay it.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposition? Okay, thank you. Is there going to be an effort though to put something in writing to request the notice as stated in the contract for the future?
Oh, yes, and there are.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, number 11, adopt resolution 2023 R205, excuse me. Ms. Krantz.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. R205, a resolution of the Palatka City Commission authorizing the execution of amendment to the as-is residential contract for sale and purchase of 429 Kirby Street, Palatka, Florida 32177, amending the purchase price and authorizing the interim city manager to execute contracts extensions as necessary and providing for scrivener's errors.
So move.
Okay, a motion is second. Any questions? Any questions? Commissioner Jones, Commissioner McCaskill.
You the real estate guru. I wanted to ask you a question. So
There's a funny story. Go ahead.
I do see the caption here. But on the purchase, how is that usually done? Was that an as-is purchase?
I'll let Ms. Thomas answer that as the legal guru.
Commissioner, yes, it was an as-is contract, but also a part of it, I think it was section 12, I think, manager. It says that they were allowed to have an inspection, and upon that inspection, they had the opportunity, the buyers, to cancel the contract. So we can either agree to their request, or
Or
we
cancel
can,
the contract.
they'll cancel the contract, yes.
Go
And
ahead.
that, if,
Wait a
provision is
minute.
effective until
That's
August 25th. So what they did is, requested this reduction within the time period.
Mr. Griffith?
Yeah, so if I could add a few things, and then we also have Mark Spalding on the line. It's my opinion that this request for a reduction, which is just around $4,000, is not unreasonable based upon the things that they discovered in their inspection period. I'll also note that this resolution authorizes me to execute extensions as necessary. And the primary purpose of that is, this is a historic district. And what we uncovered was that there are two encroachments related to this property. One of those is a small sliver of the building actually falls on the right of way. And how we address that is we do an abandonment of just that sliver. You've done it on 2nd Street in the past. That will take 2 readings, and we are scheduled to do that in the month of September if you move forward with this amendment. The second is there's an encroachment on the property from the property to the east. It's about 25 square feet. It's not a lot, but it does materially affect the value of the property. And I believe that Mr. Spalding, through the buyers, has reached out to the adjacent property owner, and they are agreeable to the city quit claiming just that 25 square feet to resolve that encroachment. There's a lot of hoops and what ifs that can happen with both of those. So we're asking if you're agreeable to the reduction in the purchase price, that you also authorize me to execute any extensions as necessary.
So that's more costs that we're gonna incur.
Very minimal.
We would incur more costs if we continue to hold on to this building that needs a lot of maintenance. And there were no other, let me finish, no other buyers in the wings. And as we say, a bird in the bush is worth, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. So the fact of the matter is, they also have met with the community, with the neighbors, and overall, I've only heard positive things, which doesn't always happen in that neighborhood. Frankly, I live there, so I can say that. So I think all in all, it's a win-win for everybody, and this is a small price to pay for that. That's my thought. You asked my opinion.
Well, I asked it, and you want to give it to.
You did.
He did.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Don't open that door. You know better. Any other questions? Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Are we opening the floor to public comment, Madam Mayor?
Oh, are we opening up on public comment? Okay.
Madam Mayor,
Comment. Is there anybody here for public comment?
Commissioner Campbell.
Madam Mayor, this is Mark Spalding. Can you hear me?
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hey, good
Go
evening,
ahead.
everybody. If I'm here, if there's any questions, I did not
Okay.
hear a motion. Is there a motion on the floor?
There is.
And what was the motion to
Motion to
approve.
approve.
to approve? Okay, I didn't hear anything. Good deal. Thank
Okay.
you.
Didn't either.
Well,
Who did that?
I think I made a motion.
You second?
Well,
Yes.
I made a motion.
You second? Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Yes, motion by Commissioner Bourne.
Can I ask Mr. Spalding something?
Yeah, we're in the question, yes.
Any question?
We're in the question.
Yes, we're in the question process.
Yes.
Mr. Spalding,
Yes, sir.
have you received any comps in that area yet? I asked you that before. I just want to know what's the temperature over there in that area? As
No,
far
sir,
as-
there's nothing changed since our last conversation.
All right. Mm.
Commissioner Campbell, did you have anything?
I did not.
Anybody else? I open it up to public comment. Anybody here for public comment? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any?
Aye.
Good job. Any opposition?
Sell it, sell it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We're going on to public hearings. Ms. Krantz?
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Actually, can I ask you to entertain an emergency item? I
You can.
explained to you that we're gonna have to deed over, most likely through quiet title, to the adjacent property owner, 25 square feet. if the commission would entertain adding that as an emergency item, it may help kind of move this along and we won't have to bring it back before the commission in September.
Motion to add it as an emergency item.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any
so-
opposition? I can't hear. No, I'm not looking at you. I was trying to see Commissioner. Stop.
Mr.
Okay.
Spalding, are you still with us?
I think he's.
Waited too long.
Yeah.
Mr. Spalding is with us, but while he's doing that, may I read the caption of the emergency resolution?
Yes, thank you.
If it so pleases you, Madam Mayor. I didn't number the resolution, but I will, Madam Mayor. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Palatka authorizing the conveyance of the city's encroachment at 429 Kirby Street upon 424 Emmett Street. Authorizing the mayor and the city clerk to execute and attest all documents conveying the transfer of the real property on behalf of the city and providing for scrivener's errors.
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, public hearings, Ms. Krantz, case PB 23-15.
Thank you. Brought to you for first reading are three ordinances. The first one of those being an ordinance number 2023-18, an ordinance of the city of Palatka annexing into the corporate limits of the city of Palatka, Florida, certain adjacent territory identified as part of the south half of the northeast quarter and plus part of the northwest quarter, official records book 759, page 306, official records book 1074, page 1819, parcel number 910264000100001 7993 St. John's Avenue, approximately 88.53 acres, contiguous to the boundaries of the city of Palatka, providing for an estimate of population impacts, providing an effective date and providing for scrivener's errors.
So move.
Second.
Okay. Ms. Walsh.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor, Commissioners. Lisa Walsh, Planning Director. This is a request, as Sunny noted, to annex 88.5 acres into the city of Palatka. It's located between Old Wolf Bay Road and St. John's Avenue, west of the hospital. The proposed land use would be go from urban reserve, Putnam County Urban Reserve, to City of Palatka residential high density and commercial. The zoning is proposed to be revised from Putnam County Ag to City of Palatka planned unit development, mobile home / conventional home residential / general commercial or PUD / R4 / C1. The proposed development will be a luxury mobile home park. On the east end will be approximately 100 mobile homes that will be for lease. I'm sorry, the mobile homes will be for sale, but they would lease the lot in the area in the park. On the west-hand side, there will be some commercial development that will consist of some metal buildings that would be small office / warehouse space. And in the middle of that parcel, there's about a 47-acre wetland. So that's why the disparity between the two different developments on either east and west end of the parcel. The planning board considered this case on June 6th, and they unanimously recommended approval of the annexation, future land use and zoning change. I will be happy to attempt to answer any questions, but I'd also like to let you know the applicant is here and they'd like to make a brief presentation to you if you so choose.
I would like to understand what the tax base, what would that generate from that area right there? Tax base wise. Did we get any calculations on that?
I do not have any calculations on that at this time, sir, but I can get them before the next hearing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any further questions, Ms. Walsh? Then would we like to have the applicant come up and give us a little information about the project? Okay.
More.
Thank you.
My name is Hayden Harrington. I live at 168 Lake Street, Pomona Park, Florida. I am an owner of Silver Bay Luxury Living, which is the owner of the parcel that is in question. On the east side, Ms. Walsh mentioned that we plan on developing a luxury mobile home park. And the reason for this is because it will provide affordable market rate or affordable housing to people who are age 55 plus. My grandfather, Bill Harrington, has developed Villa Farms, and he finds that he does not have enough space for the demand that it currently has at this time. He has an index or a list of, or a stack of index cards about this thick with people who are inquiring about coming into his park and owning a home there. So this is what led us to do that, to pursue developing this development. On the west side, we plan on developing a commercial park, for lack of a better word, with metal clad steel structure buildings for the small business owner who needs a place to have an office, but also needs to have a little bit of storage space. Maybe it is someone who wants to open a dance studio. Maybe it is someone who wants to have a little sandwich shop. That is our idea with the west side of the development. We have put together a team of Mr. Joe Kumar with CRG Architects and Mr. Rudd Jones with Matthews Design. That is correct. And we have many years of experience within our team of developing mobile home parks. Do you have any further questions?
And you said this is for 55 and up. And okay.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, we certainly need more for senior citizens as well, because I've seen where some areas started out with senior citizen and then they brought in just open it up just for everybody to be able to use. So yeah, I'm certainly.
Yes, sir. Within our covenants, lease and prospectus, we have written in that it is for people age 55 plus.
Thanks, sir.
You're welcome.
Any further questions? No? Mr. Campbell? No? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to open the floor to public comment. Is there anybody here for public comment on this item? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. Next.
Madam Mayor, also brought to you is ordinance number 2023-19, brought to you for first reading and also for approval to transmit to the state reviewing agencies. Ordinance number 2023-19, an ordinance of the city of Palatka, Florida, providing that the future land use map of the adopted comprehensive plan be amended with respect to the following parcel of land that's greater than 50 acres in size from Putnam County Urban Reserve UR to City of Palatka High Density Residential HDR and Commercial Com for the following property: 7993 St. John's Avenue, Palatka, Florida 32177, part of the south half of the northeast quarter plus part of the northwest quarter. Official Records Book 759, page 306, Official Records Book 1074, page 1819, parcel number 910264000100001, approximately 88.53 acres, contiguous to the boundaries of the city of Palatka, providing for scrivener's errors and providing for an effective date.
Thank
So
you.
moved.
Second.
Okay. Any questions of Ms. Walsh or anybody else? Okay. I'm going to open the floor to public comment. Is anybody here for public comment on this item? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. We have a motion, a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. Ms. Krantz, ordinance 2023-20.
Yes, ma'am. Brought to you for first reading is ordinance number 2023-20, an ordinance of the city of Palatka, Florida, providing that the zoning map be amended with respect to the following parcel of land greater than 50 acres in size from Putnam County Agricultural Act to the City of Palatka Plan Unit Development, Mobile Home, Conventional Home, Residential and Commercial PUD R4C1 for the following property: 7993 St. John's Avenue, Palatka, Florida 32177, part of the south half of the northeast quarter plus part of the northwest quarter. Official Records Book 759, page 306, Official Records Book 1074, page 1819, parcel number 910264000100001, approximately 88.53 acres, contiguous to the boundaries of the city of Palatka, providing for an effective date, providing for scrivener's errors.
So second.
Anybody have any questions of Ms. Walsh? Okay, I'm going to open it to public comment. Anybody here for public comment? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. All in favor? Aye. Any
Aye.
opposition? Thank you. Any commissioners have comments? In general, comments?
No, I just want to thank the staff for all that they've done and through budgeting and to this point, and the job well done they continue to do. Like to welcome our new attorney and Ms. Jane West on board, and we feel that you'll do a awesome job. So we're looking forward to for you to come on board with us and continue the excellent job. Our current city attorney has been doing for us for some years, so we really appreciate all she's done for us, Ms. Valeria Thomas. So thank you, guys.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Without prolonging anything, I share the same sentiments, Commissioner Boyle.
I do too, ditto, and enjoy a grandmother.
Wow.
So fun.
She's glowing now.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
I was waiting. Thank you.